Hawnhekk qegħdin Savio College, riċentement ħadna sem f'kompetizzjoni Ruma. Fija tħanna f'żewġ kompetizzjonijiet differenti. Tħanna fl-Explorer u tħanna fil-Rescue Line. Hawnhekk miegħi għandi t-tim illi ħasem fl-Explorer. Għandi l-Nicholas Bird, l-Raffael u l-Liam Gafa. Fil-kompetizzjoni ta' Rescue Line tħanna b'4 timijiet. Hawnhekk għandna l-tim Dave, li huwa magħmul minn Jaden, Bradley u Matthew. Għandna tim Luca, li huwa magħmul minn Isaac u minn Andrea. Għandna tim Philip, li huwa magħmul minn Benjamin, minn Jaden u minn Liam. U finalment għandna l-tim Domenico, li huwa magħmul minn Gabriel, Luigi u Cayman.
For this competition, we started with the base, then all the coding, building, and the design were made by us.
The designs were made using a CAD program called FreeCAD. With FreeCAD, we designed bumpers and brackets, and also we designed the base for the robot.
So for my team, I was the main coder, and from my experience, I can say that we did face a few challenges. Some in the line following the first part and some in the rescue area, the second part. But we managed to overcome them with a lot of testing.
In my team, I took care of the hardware, wiring, and designing of the parts. The wiring was a bit of a problem because it was loose and sometimes the sensor would not work and there was no reason why. And we printed quite a few brackets because the measurements were wrong or we needed a different part for that piece.
Well, for this competition, we used Arduino IDE and the language was C. We've been using this for the past 5 months as we were working on the competition, and it's a pretty basic language, but it takes some sense to code and stuff.
And we split the code into header files, but with the header files, we split them into voids, methods, so we could make the code simpler. For example, if we have 5 lines of code, we can make them into 1.
Not only for the exit, but the entire rescue area, we used these sensors called the ultrasonic sensors, which can detect how much distance there is between the robot and the wall. And this way we could kind of make laps around the area trying to find the balls, and it could also detect when there was a hole in the wall, which was the exit.
To follow the line, we use the PID algorithm. This is used for the robot to keep in the middle of the line and to turn accordingly while adjusting the speed of the motors. The PID algorithm is not only used in line following, but it is used in CPU cooling systems to keep in autopilot to keep the aeroplane's altitude at constant, and in 3D printers to make sure the temperature is kept at constant.
The highlights of the competition were mostly 4 of the 5 teams qualifying, and our team getting first place, another team getting second, and another team getting third place.
Other notable experiences we had in the competition, outside of the competition, was when we went out every night eating together as a team and as a whole squad, including the teachers that were with us. And also we went shopping in the Termini train station, and we also went out to popular sites in Rome like the Vatican City and the Colosseum.
Obviously, there were a lot of skills that we used and learned throughout the competition, both academic and moral. On the academic side, we learned how to 3D model, how to use different sensors, soldering, also coding algorithms and using the PID algorithm.
On the social side of things, we learned to work as a team, as teamwork was a good base for everything, as although we were in separate teams, certain circumstances, for example, if a sensor stops working and we were in a rush, especially in Rome, we had to help each other because at the end we're all one team.
So our team was divided into 2 main tasks, which are the programming and the engineering.
At the start, everyone did a bit of everything, but once we got into more detail and the competition got harder and everything was getting more complicated, we split into two, which were the engineering and the programming.
So the engineering side, there was the 3D modeling, the wiring, and the soldering.
In programming, there were two main parts, which was the code of the actual robot and the code of testing, which we used to test all sensors to make sure that they work.
For future participants, the advice I would give you for this great experience is that you have to always be committed, and the tasks you have, you must finish them. Even if you fail sometimes, you always have to try and try again, and you have to be prepared to make some sacrifices along the way.
Although we face many difficulties during this competition, you need to keep an open mind and always beat them.